Aragosta have played Prem for the last 2 seasons, and I think they've kind of showed signs of life. I think they have some very impressive players. But here we are, going on to middle here for round number 6 of Überfest 2025. It's Impo arriving early, and early damage onto Maurice here.
Oh yeah, that is so annoying as the medic. You could play so much for the back, you're trying to get a health back, you're trying to do something, no one's going too aggressive. That's a nice follow-up from Kasuki. Maki wants to get the equalize, and does manage it pretty well. Scrappy fight all over point, not a lot of HP, but ultimately, Aragosta coming away with the dub.
Yes, the projectile class is really shining there for both sides. Huge rockets from Maki coming in with a late bomb and a kill onto Wild Piggy. Then the pipes just from Impo, last second, finds 2. And leaves Juxta in a very wolf position here. Back in onto middle, 50 HP, sitting around enemy big door. But that is a big Uber scout player, surrounded, dead.
Yeah, no, optimistic, but at the same time, sometimes, you know, just dragging people back gives you a little bit of a time to breathe, your team to spawn, you know, maybe. Ultimately, both medics did go down. Uber's going to be effectively equal, so there is a slight opportunity. I mean, Alan's Workshop does seem to want to try and bust in here. A lot of space being taken by Wandum. That's a really good frag. You can see them dragging people all the way back towards point with the way that Gullywash mid does cap. So, you know, basically the exact same speed. That is actually an important thing to drag players back. But now, you do see, oh my god, Vandu's just keeping on going. This demo's so weak as well. They're going all the way.
It actually takes Impo forever to die in that push. A really nice aggression coming in from Aragosta there, but it's just not quite enough in the end, right? You see, it takes a little while, and that means that they don't actually manage to find the kill onto Piggy. I think there's a very real world there, where they can just pressure, and kill all 3 players. They're stuck on mid for a while. Unfortunately, not quite getting it, so now Sia's going to walk into lobby here. It's an even Uber situation, but we're already peeking in big door. Quite aggressive here.
Oh, that is such a good frag onto Impo. That is going to make things really difficult. It's so annoying to try and defend this big door position. And you can see Maki jumping in as well, get a little bit of damage. Vanu is going to be a casualty here, and that's an important cleanup there from Omga. So that is going to kind of buy them a little moment. Sneaky as well, securing the frag. Oh, that's...
Oh, pops it on 1 HP in big door, and that is a salvage pop and a half. Now, though, the post-Uber, this is going to be very difficult for Aragosta. You see them already running all the way back onto their own side of mid because they do not have that much to really fight mid for. Instead, as Vanu up on the sniper, is a bit dangerous on this weapon, but just immediate headshot onto Phoenix. Gonna have to see if you can find a bit more. That is a medic running very far away. Peeking into big door instead, that's a scout just staring at their face.
Yeah, one of those classic things about Gullywash when there's a defensive sniper and your player down, even with the Uber advantage, it's so annoying. They do opt for drop down. It's going to be a bit of a commit play. Vardy wants to go try and get some cheeky little headshots here, but that's pretty well played there. Uber does get used. They do secure 2 frags for it, and maybe with the defensive Vardy snipers, this can be enough firepower. We do see Maurice on about 85%.
It's a bit hard, right? You're down 2 soldiers. It's Sia and Maki second in there to get the force onto the medic, which is really nice. Nets the maneuver ad, but without soldiers, holding on to 2 seconds is a bit difficult. You can see, actually, Alan Workshop not going anywhere near enemy second. Instead, there is this offensive sniper now, which makes it so much harder. So nice early body shot there in onto Impo, but unfortunately 150 damage is not enough to kill a fully HP Demo Man. Instead, we're just trading all over the place in choke, and it is just Alan's Workshop completely blowing up the choke point. So now, Phoenix's 1 HP will get cleaned up, and no further height can really be taken as Omga is 30 HP.
Omga, they have no idea. They have no idea. Directly behind does just about look in the SMG. Combines with Juxta. Okay, 30 HP, maybe a bit optimistic.
The ad has gone away. Vanu's in through drop down. This is a bit of a weird angle here.
Oh my god.
Playing a bit aggressive here. Maybe looking to bully a soldier. I missed that too.
You gotta, no, you gotta hit those. You gotta hit those. Come on, buddy.
There's a soldier. Sneaky just sacking in onto mid, actually taking the trade. Are we?
Away,
right?
Are we?
This is so weird. Now it's Sneaky trying to get a lot of damage actually onto Davey. Unfortunately, no kills. This is a very bad trade, as Maurice did not have to pop whatsoever. Phoenix down as well. Now you're 2 down. Yes, there's still a sniper up, but maybe eventually he will hit something. The 150 damage onto the enemy demo man is just gonna dispel Impo from the second point, send him back to last. But this is a big advantage here for Alan's Workshop, and for Aragosta rather.
Yeah,
Alan's Workshop, they're in trouble.
This is a huge situation. I will say, I think it's probably time Vanu gets off that sniper, because it's not really working, but here we go. Going to be walking all the way on in. This is a nice position. They get so far in before using the Uber. Gun does go down. Pyro's not really in a position trying to get behind point. This is still not too bad for them. You have to focus down this heavy. God, it's becoming a little bit scrappy, but surely they won't stand too much of a chance. There we go. The headshot rings out. Scout onto point. And eventually, after all of that, Aragosta takes our first round.
Yeah, that was really nice. The sniper from Wandum does enough to pressure the enemy, but it's just really that huge Uber advantage that they had on Aragosta. They just managed to roll it all the way out to last. Unfortunately, Impo dying very, very quickly. The beginning of that last push, no stickies on point, makes it so much harder to hold. So now Aragosta, pretty decent lead to start off the game. A lot of time still to play for, but Alan's Workshop now finally in the correct place on the scoreboard, no longer confusing me.
Oh my lord. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. We're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. Okay, there we go. Second mid, not quite so much time. Oh, big stickies on the Phoenix. I take everything back. That really opens things up. Both soldiers immediately down on the side of the red team. So there we go. Such a good position. Seer does go all the way in towards these back lines. Should be aware of them. Nice little direct though. Even, you know, even not securing frags, being able to force the players all the way back onto last. You know, they're physically on last. They're not contesting any part of second. There's opportunities to just keep going on in. Impo dying there is pretty unforgivable.
Oh my god, it's a soldier launching forward, but there's a lot of people dying here in the Uber. Neither team has yet. And this Aragosta aggression is immediate. Already Mackie onto the point. One soldier bombing forward, but he cannot hold on. Instead, they pop the Uber, but do not get to the point in time. It is another round for Aragosta.
That is insane. Having Impo die there, like straight up, just getting caught out position, like towards floor. I don't know how it happens when you lose your demo and then Mackie takes that literal perfect position towards point. It was so much damage. It was so much cap time. Like that was basically like the round-winning play. But that's a big, big mistake for Alan's Workshop.
I love the pressuring coming in from Aragosta there, realizing if there's no Uber in the enemy team, you can just push.
Yeah.
And they get that kill into Impo as well. Caught out a couple times now, costing his team gravely. He's back on mid, early damage to the enemy side. But it looks like Aragosta forced to play a bit passively. Soldiers trading in below. Leaves neither team on end basically anywhere. Single soldier bomb coming across from Sia actually does decent damage to Sneaky, but it is a very aggressive Davey. Shot down so low and ends up cratering. So now Sneaky can sit around on the point and usher the enemy team away, choosing to evacuate with the Uber in their hand.
There we go. They're going to be pretty happy with that on the side of Alan's Workshop. They're going to be taking control of that mid fight, like you say. Ubers are going to be in the hands of both teams pretty soon, but there is a little bit of a player advantage. If you want a big prod, we do see Sneaky getting just that little bit aggressive, not quite able to go through it. I mean, it's pretty hard when you've got players playing so close and then Mackie on the height as well, but I appreciate the peek in. Soldier does jump all the way in. Nice rocket! And they get the force!
Huge play from Kasuke there on his own. Comes through choke. And look at the health bars on Aragosta as well. They are all so low. And that's going to allow Alan's Workshop a very, very good angle to push in onto second. They're sticking some lower low. Try to get too cheeky, but you can see Aragosta already repositioning up top. And this is going to be very difficult for them to hold coming through choke here.
Yeah, this is like super patient play for Alan's Workshop. They got the all-important force. They got, you know, the all-important frag.
Yeah.
It's now going to be all about dodging this soldier. That's, yeah, super, dude, like just the carpet of stickies. Like, this is absolute kind of textbook plays. The only thing they need to worry about now is actually getting forward fast enough to use this Uber. We do see Maurice already on like 75%. Like on Gullywash last, this is kind of going to be hard already.
Yeah, time is really ticking now. 87% for Maurice. As the Uber counter now coming forward in from Impo. Sentry gun immediately down, but this is Maurice living long enough. 99% as he does get off that Uber, but it's two people down and you have to watch for post-Uber. Pyro and Heavy are up on last, and there are no Alan's Workshop members anywhere near. But you can see them re-peeking here in through River, and I think they might fancy themselves a bit of a pushback forwards as Pyro is eating a lot of damage, and a Mackie kill as well is going to leave a very low Heavy on his own on the point. And Alan's Workshop respond with a round of their own. 21 minutes. There's a lot still left in this map.
Yeah, this is a really energetic game from both sides. I think just kind of looking at the last hold there, I feel like, you know, obviously losing a couple of players, it wasn't the end of the world, but you saw that awkward little position where your Heavy's playing on the floor, but then your Pyro drops the floor because they're not quite certain, like, who's carrying for the point, who's, you know, trying to, like, defend the doorways. Like, when things get that little bit scrappy, it becomes really difficult, and maybe it's where the cracks start to show.
Back on middle now. Aragosta looking to reclaim the momentum that they had in the first 10 minutes of the game. Back onto middle. It's early aggression from Aragosta, but with Scout on lower, they're eating damage very, very quickly here. And the health bars on Aragosta now very low as well. You can see Mackie 25 HP. Gonna bomb up after. Sia eats a bit of an arrow, but Sia eats a pipe as well. Impo does go down. There's a very, very late counter aggression coming in from Aragosta. It's going to clean up so many players on the side of Alan's Workshop. Now Piggy is up with the Ubersault out. And he guys.
Yeah, that is such a sick situation for Aragosta because it's such a late frag as well. So not only do you have like the 100% advantage, but you know that you can, you know, kind of cap mid. Like second's going to be theirs, right? There's like absolutely no way. We do see a defensive sniper, which may just be a little bit annoying, but yeah, like so far back. Like second's going to be theirs. This is one of those situations where you actually get to do your perfect, pristine, ideal kind of last push. The only thing they need to worry about is everyone's favorite thing, the defensive Kritzkrieg.
Kritzkrieg up for Wild Piggy is going to come out at some point. It's already about 60%, but really the focus for now is still just on Umga. Any kind of opening pick here is going to really stifle the push that comes out from Aragosta, but Uber instantly popped as the sentry gun also instantly taken down. As now Davey can run forward, deal a lot of damage to the soldiers. He tries to take the height, and he just gets slammed for it. Umga down as well, as the sniper doesn't find anything. Instead, the pyro is ineffective, but the crits laser beams are coming out, used entirely to kill the offensive sentry gun of Vanu. As in now it's still Sneaky just up on this heavy, but he's not on the point. And unfortunately, that means that Aragosta can claim it before he reaches it in time. I didn't even notice the Vanu sentry gun there.
Why? Why?
I think Vanu likes doing this. I think this is like a Vanu thing.
I mean, yeah, like it did work. It kind of nearly didn't.
I mean, it soaked most of the crit Tommy slab.
That's
but
true.
Unfortunately, okay, the laser beams weren't really in position to hit anyone anyway, right?
No.
Like, this is kind of the problem with the heavy when it comes up. You do have to run for a little bit to actually get to the point where you can shoot people.
You know, fair enough. There we go. 3-1 Aragosta so far. New mid, new me, new life. Hero's going to try and get some early damage in. Nothing too much. Big bomb up here from the soldier. But they go so weak. Look at these players on the side of Alan's Workshop. There's a lot of very weak players, but somehow they're managing to secure the frags. It doesn't matter how much damage you do. If you can't get that last little bit, this huge bomb from Sia.
Sia, unfortunately, doesn't find the enemy medic. Instead, it's just him left alone on an island, 11 HP.
Oh, no, we can't jump. We can't jump.
We can't even rocket jump, and that is, yeah. Phoenix just cleans up that kill. 3K for him. As now Alan's Workshop, a big advantage here to work with. They got a pretty late kill onto Maurice, and that means that now Piggy, about 90% advantage. Mackie, though.
Dude, Mackie's just like, oh, do I go for the sync bomb? Do I go for the sync bomb?
No,
and then you can hear the team being like, no, don't feed Mackie's like, no, but I'd love to.
Yeah.
What if I get the frag, though?
What if he just like double synced the medic, just killed it? Instead, is Vanu up on the sniper, looking to hit some heads.
You know, I mean, you can sometimes get like an early annoying frag here and there, maybe on River, maybe just, you know, some kind of... Oh, that's a nice little sticky trap there. Makes things a little bit better. We do have to be a little bit aware of this Uber just going all the way across point, but, you know, it buys them a second to breathe.
And Kasuke really wants to play that water as well, pressuring both sides. That point is so useful. Instead, the Uber's going to come in without. As Alan's Workshop electing to take the Uber without, but without those rockets, it's so much harder to kill the gun. But it is a Davey caught out on the point. The Scouts and Phoenix are doing so much work together. The Pyro of Vanu has to hold on its own, as Heavy is up as well, and I think it just might be enough to clean up, but you have to watch this halftime. It is so scary to let any Scout near this point. So Sneaky's going to try to get a bit forward, but unfortunately can't quite live up to the name. So he's going to back out instead. Now there's a counter Uber that can potentially come out for Maurice here.
Yeah, no, straight up. I mean, there's absolutely no situation why they wouldn't, you know. Oh, God, yeah, there's a lot of cap time. And with the Spy as well, they could just kind of decock on point, and it could be a little bit iffy. Like, I kind of feel like this is a bit of a dodgy last push. They're going to lose a Scout. I think they're calling a cancel.
This is such a hard push to make, actually. They still have this ad, but it's almost gone.
Yeah.
Even Uber's coming out. I don't know if they saw the Spy from Omega, to be honest. Not quite sure if it's still in play or not. Either way, I think that is a Scout running into...
I don't think Omga's sure. Is it in play?
You just play Gunspy for this round? No, he's 32 HP, walking in through main. I mean, you don't really need HP as a Spy anyway, right? Just like one-shot the medic, you die.
Exactly.
Be fine. I'm actually surprised he's playing the Ice Pick. I feel like kind of bad 6. The Pyro will set you on fire. Dude, imagine he goes up to the medic and tries to backstab the medic, and unfortunately the Pyro just like connects and he's calm.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those, like, I was in a pub.
Yeah, okay. Well.
And, okay, now I've died.
Yep. That's why.
Point play!
Oh my god, yeah, nope. Yeah, that's a
dude,
pain
that's
train.
pain. I was gonna say that's pain train. See, this is why.
Shout out to Seagull.
Yeah, shout out. From like 10 years ago.
Stalemate situation at the moment, right? We have even Ubers on either side. And see the aggression kind of died down a little bit. Sacks from either side really down means that Aragosta really unwilling to work with, but there's no stickies on the point quite yet, right? You see how aggressive Kasuke is being, just reminding the enemy that he could sort of come in and pounce at any moment, but it's Sneaky just sacking in forwards. Don't find much of anything. So now Alan's Workshop, they're forced to back out on second.
do we see a funny off-class? Does Sneaky come up on Sniper, Spy, Pyro? Dude, honestly, the Pyro water play, go on.
What if he goes engine? Nah, he's punching.
Sniper, come on.
Sneaky former like Prem Highlander Spy. I'm surprised he doesn't pull it out more.
Oh yeah, I feel like you kind of forget that.
But I think the Sniper on Gully Wash, I think this is one of the better lasts to snipe into. You do have some kind of angles. Still a bit tricky sometimes. Oh. And they're giving us plenty of time to think about it.
Well, I mean, you know, on the whole Sniper thing, I think there's so much to be played around in terms of, obviously, if you've got, like, a paint drain and you're going to get, like, ×2 on point, there's so many point plays you can do where the Sniper just, like, hard scopes point, and then it's like someone drops down, and then you can just, like, you know, get the frag on them, and then maybe drag things out a little bit longer, and then, like, you know, it's like Gully Lass. You can maybe try and do, like, a funny thing. You do one guy, and then he dies, and you just do another guy. You just keep going and assume they'll never push out.
So, we are not currently aware of the situation of why we are paused. I could give you, everyone in chat, a brief sort of little rundown that Phoenix has all day kind of been dealing with a bit of tech issues, which has Alan's Workshop being forced to pause the game a lot because Phoenix's computer keeps kind of restarting on its own, I'm pretty sure.
That's not great.
That's what's happening.
I'll be real.
So, but it does say... I think those are live, though.
Let's just ignore the spoilers.
Yeah, guys, can you believe 90 seconds into the future, we are still paused?
That's kind of wild. I love these player badges.
Oh, there we go. Unpaused. As Sticky's just coming out onto the sentry gun. Like there, but now it's Phoenix straight in onto the point. Let's get cleaned up by Mackie here. It's a very low sniper who is just going to burn to death.
I mean, you know, you love to see it sometimes. We don't want to stop fighting at any point, apparently, you know? Everyone's just going in at all times. We do look like we want to take a minute on the side of Alan's Workshop. That's okay. Take a breather. There's always opportunities to go in. You know, I mean, let's be real. On the defending side, they're not moving anywhere anytime soon. They've got like 1 minute 20 left to go, and they just have all the defensive off classes. They're not going to play the game. Come on.
This is where Alan's Workshop really need to start figuring out some kind of a pressure coming in onto the inside. Keep pressuring from every angle. Try to catch someone on Aragosta off guard to set up a successful, advantageous last push. Because at the moment, both teams have Uber. It's a lot of damage, though, onto the enemy, and that is a huge pipe there from Impo. Now, gun falling as Phoenix shoots that down. Just Omga trying to pressure at this point and force these soldiers to look everywhere all at once. It's Phoenix bombing in onto the enemy medic and finds the dispenser kill, but Chuckster falls to the rockets from Kasuke, and that just allows Sneaky to run straight onto the point. No one is up. It's 12 HP sentry gun as Alan's Workshop take another round. They are crawling their way back. It's 13 minutes left. They have time.
Oh no, absolutely. Like that is like such a classic kind of pressure moment where, you know, you're sending one guy for one thing and then you're sending another guy for another thing, and then actually, like, as soon as they're so focused on a soldier, I think it all comes down to just how long that soldier lived, and then it's like, it doesn't matter that you're standing inside the dispenser, everyone then peeks and they just pile the damage on, and really, like, yeah, like the second that soldier lives longer than like a second or two, it's kind of over. It's either going to be a force or a drop.
Back onto middle now as Impo once again looks to take another mid-fight victory. It would be so good for Alan's Workshop to crawl their way back ASAP. Get this middle victory, and it's an early kill onto Kasuke as well. Sia does manage to find that kill. Phoenix dying as well to the sickness of Davey, so they can just keep running across here. Aragosta now looking to wrap as well. Wild Piggy does not have friends to usher him out quite yet. Is another kill onto Impo. No Demo Man down. There's a scout on top trying to find the world. Uber unfortunately just left to run out alone. This is scary here for Alan's Workshop. A lot of pressure can come in here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a pretty good position. Aragosta, you know, they have managed to lose a couple rounds here, but this is a pretty commanding position to be in. They're very much in the driver's seat here. They don't have to do anything too fast, but they're in the position to do exactly that. And with that frag towards Phoenix, and with the last hold not being fully set up just yet, maybe this is a time, if anything, to try and get some people in.
You see Wandum already playing Secret, trying to pressure the Heavy. Heavy can only shoot one guy at once. Doesn't have splash damage, but it's Sneaky finding a lot of damage. As a three-man sack comes in, does find Impo. A lot of cap time as well, but unfortunately, no one else really alive to capitalize off of it. Sia taken down. Maurice safe and sound, but this is Aragosta completely giving up second to try and get an Uber force that they didn't get, try to get a round cap, didn't achieve that either. So suddenly, Alan's Workshop have a bit more breathing room here.
Yeah, we do see Sniper once again. You know, these teams relying a little bit on it. we're yet to see anything too crazy happen, but I mean, the pressure is always significant. You know, even if you're not going for crazy shots, the consistent pressure of having a sniper is just very annoying to play against. It will kind of, you know, change how the enemy team is going to be moving, and to a degree you can control that as well. So first peek comes in, not quite connecting the shot. That would have been quite an important one to hit, but that's okay. The second that shot rings out, suddenly Alan's Workshop's going to be changing a little bit how things are going to roll. You can see Info not going to be going for those deeper peaks, just going to be playing that little kind of diagonal line.
Yeah, Wandum fancying themselves a bit of a shot onto the control point here. That little sign, you can stand on it, get a bit of a different angle, but you can see the spam coming out from Alan's Workshop is so heavy. Oh my God, Wandum now finding themselves a bit of a different angle here.
No, are they not aware?
Are they not aware? But you need someone else to open the shutters here, so the soldier comes in, and unfortunately the shot does not ring true. Gets a second one, but unfortunately Wild Piggy is just alive again, and now suddenly Aragosta in a very weird position. The Uber trade comes straight in onto the sniper, doesn't find it, but it is Maurice instantly forced to counterpop. One kill onto Phoenix is a good start. Mackie has the bomb in to try and keep the enemy back. This is a lot of damage dealt. 2 players down already. So many players are hurt in Big Door, and suddenly the Alan's Workshop crunch comes in. Just Maurice left alive, has a stolen vow. Unfortunately ends up paying for it with his life. Just Mackie up. There is no way Mackie can find anything. What a play from Alan's Workshop there.
Yeah, that was such a nuke in Big Door. That was just such one of, like, it could have gone so badly for them. I cannot overstate how badly it could have gone for them. I think there's significant choking on the side of Aragosta. I'm sorry, it's probably going to sound mean, but that's just straight up choking. This is like what happens on LAN, where suddenly, you know, you're in these games that kind of, you know, matter a little bit. Everyone's there in person, and you're like, not quite hitting those shots you should be getting. And now, they find themselves defending their own last. They have a really big Uber disadvantage. This is kind of going to be hard. I can almost see this being like an equalizer.
Yeah, this is really difficult now. Golden ticket for Alan's Workshop to crawl back into this game. Looking to send the Uber perhaps in just straight through River. Impo already getting healed up and getting ready. It's a scout sent in through water immediately, but there are 2 players ready to meet them. As the sentry gun is just going to get spammed down, but really lives forever. This Pyro does such a good job of keeping the gun alive, but it doesn't matter because no one stares at the point. Kasuke bombs in, finds 2, kills the demo, and suddenly it's 3-3.
Oh my God, that is one of those last pushes of just like, what the hell went wrong? And I'll be honest, like,
yeah.
I don't want to say it, but I feel like if it's not working, don't force it, you know? Maybe stick to some cookie cutter classes. Like, it can work on other days, it's fine, but
yeah,
you know, when you find yourself throwing away good situations, it's just rough, man.
Yeah, the sniper unfortunately just not quite working out for Wandum, so back onto the scout for mid. There's early damage once again to both red soldiers here. Davey really does a great job of softening them up and sort of slowing down the sort of immediacy of the play. So it's Phoenix going to go for a very nice high bomb, take a lot of space, but Kasuke already taken down, trade it off with a kill onto Mackie. No one else really there to follow up. The positioning so much more favorable here for Aragosta. So Soldier is going to bomb across, try to capitalize off of it, and Scouts get so aggressive. Kill into Impo, but the counter bomb from Phoenix is huge. Finds 3, and it's just Davey and Sia left alive with a very low Piggy, who's going to keep himself surrounded by his teammates, but those skis and pipes from Davey are so scary.
They are. Surely they can combine. You can see it does just about get taken down here. And the late frag towards Davey, now that is really, really good. You know, it may have taken them a while, but the second they get that frag, this opens up so many opportunities. Mackie is just going to peek, just going to look, just going to be calling this information to their team, but ultimately, they're going to have no business on second.
This is such a scary situation now for Aragosta, up for so long, but with 7 minutes left on the clock, they are once again putting their eggs in the Wandum sniper basket. Demoman bombing through already is not going to get taken down. It's 150 to the soldier, but you really want to see the headshot onto the medic. Massive advantage here for Piggy still. They just don't even need to delay for that long. They're gonna have this Uber for lust.
Yeah, no, 100%. You can see with Alan's Workshop, the second they were aware of the sniper, they kind of backed up all the way to choke, you know, playing incredibly slow, almost basically conceding that slight Uber advantage for the sake of, you know what, we'll get control a second, because obviously playing from second into last is a much more favorable position. It's so much more comfortable for you, because even if everything goes wrong, you'll probably just end up on mid, like it's fine.
So now back onto enemy last. Once again, is an Alan's Workshop pressure cook that's going to have to come out as Kasuke wants to bomb in, but that sentry gun just denies it completely. 2-man sack, not the end of the world, but the health bars for Alan Workshop are quite low. So they're going to have to back off a significant distance here. I think Phoenix thought he found himself a bit of an angle, instead just going to meet the Pyro and just instantly collapse. Now Sia can bomb forwards. This is a very scary soldier bomb, does a lot of damage. He finds a kill into one. Just going to force them back, keep making them retreat. That's going to mean Aragosta claims second, but the scout's just in. With a kill into Davey, suddenly the aggression can just come out.
This is insane, and the scout even lived there? That is, it's a disaster. It's a complete disaster. They're left now with no demo, no soldier. We do see these players already pressuring towards last so they can get this gun. They do. It's still not bad for them. They should be getting the force 100% surely.
Yeah, they pop the Uber counter, but that is Omga once again gets so much cap time. Davey not up in time, and that means that Sia is on permanent point watch until this second is capped. You cannot let anyone from Alan's workshop get in. So they are going to have to pick this push apart so slowly here as Alan's workshop just re-aggress with a counter Uber. Two players forced into their own choke, but where is their team? No one there to follow up. The Uber doesn't find that many players, actually. We're kind of safe for now. Vanu is on a sneaky mission.
Surely they just go forward. Surely you just, like, if you're aware of Vanu being behind, you just go forward. You go to last. You've already got half the cap time already there. Just get in. Go, Stickies, don't get there. They're already on point.
Sneaky from water. I think Aragosta have themselves a bit of a plumbing problem. That is like the third time they have lost from people just getting onto the point, no one there to respond. And suddenly now, it's 4.5 minutes left, and Aragosta are suddenly in a losing position for the first time for the whole map.
Yeah, that is kind of wild. Like you say, like, I feel like, you know, I'm not saying both teams are playing perfectly at all. I feel like there is a bit more of an issue of just kind of when things get messy on this last hold, it does just kind of fall apart.
They have to pick it up, and they have to pick it up fast here on the middle. They need a resounding victory here, and it starts with a kill from Maki onto Kasuke. It's Sneaky falling as well, and suddenly middle very much crumbling apart from the Maki workshop. Meet Maki as Impo falls to his grave as well. Magically, somehow and some way, they find themselves a massive ticket here.
Oh, they're going to try and bin so hard right now. They're just only now getting the 5 spawns. They're going to keep everyone all the way towards this last point. One guy's going to be capping second. This Uber's going to be in the hands any second now. The defensive crits going to be nowhere near being able to get. They're trying to get out this doorway as quickly as they can. Any frags here are good. Uber has been used. Kasuke's already down. Players already towards point. Sneaky does lose his life. Surely this going to be destroying every single one of these remaining players.
Does not find it. Aragosta clean up, immediate reply.
Literally immediate reply. The second you're just like, oh, you know, things have gone a bit wrong. We're just about behind now. No, doesn't matter. What a huge mid for those soldiers.
Maki just absolutely crazy there on the mid. Massive flank. And now suddenly 3 minutes. Either team can win this. We saw how fast these rounds can be, but there are no golden caps here. If you want to take the victory, you're going to have to just commit immediately on this mid-fight.
Yeah, straight up. So we do see Davey trying to get anything early, a little bit, not really a lot. Suki's on the first bomb, but doesn't stand a single chance there. You can see these players, though, on the side of Aragosta. They're all caught towards choke, just surging forward. The power of Impo and his soldiers, and the taunt as well. This is huge right now, keeping Piggy alive. This is going to be an Uber advantage. This is going to be a last push. This should be everything they want. Even early damage towards last would be okay, but it doesn't matter. I think right now, if you're Phoenix, all you do is you do make sure that you live. If they can get this gun, but like, you know, there's a pirate. There's no chance. Yeah, whatever happens, Phoenix just can't die here. You want all 6 for just the most clinical last push you've ever done in your life.
There's a world where you probably could run it down another minute so you make sure that the enemy cannot recapture once again with another fast round. But if you're Alan's workshop, massive advantage. You take that when you can.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
You go in. Sentry Gun and Pyro already up as the scout is ushered in through lower. The Pyro is very far forward to make sure that Impo cannot get in. That means this Sentry Gun uncontested for so long, but once again, the Stickies are not there on the point. It is everyone shoving in through lower, and it is Maki finding 3. Suddenly, Impo, the only one left alive that can deal damage to the enemy, and there is so much cap time already on it. Beautiful pipe there onto Sia, sending him back. But there is still 1 minute and 44 seconds, and someone can find a play here. Aragosta, do they have just the sheer, I don't know what you would call it even, the gumption, I guess? That's a bad word. But like, they have full ad. Well, you could probably push into second. But it is so scary. It is so scary.
I would love it if they did, but when your point is already like 3/4 cap, like, it's going to be so hard. Alan's Workshop, all they need to do is just get anyone on point for even just like a couple seconds. They're going to have to force these players all the way to the floor as well.
They're just pressuring in through water. Both the soldiers running forward. They try to send Sneaky in, and there's a lot of damage dealt, but that is just Sia with another 2K. Vung falling as well. Engineer is down, but now with a minute to go, it's going to give Wild Piggy an Uber charge. And that means a final shout here for Alan's Workshop is a post-Uber fight that goes in their favor on last.
Yeah, this is very, very possible still. The cap time is going to be ticking all the way down, so it's basically just an equal Uber last kind of, you know, push just because you're forced into that kind of situation. It isn't impossible, but let's be real, it's going to be hard.
This is going to be incredibly difficult. They have one shot to make this work. Kasuke already watching as his Phoenix goes in through lower. Uber comes in through shutters, and the Pyro does a lot of work in denying it. No scout there to help out, and the gun is going to fall. Omga once again in onto point. Lots of cap time coming out, and the health bar for Aragosta are low. Not that much better for Alan's Workshop, but they do have a superior post-Uber positioning with the soldier on the point again. Once more, Alan's Workshop from nowhere managed to get that final little cap at the very end.
That was so huge from Impo. Like, literally, that entire last push came down to right at the end. You could see Impo just walking forward, right? Dragging all the attention of those defending players. Literally, everyone was focused on him, ignoring the fact there's 2 other players alive. They were in water. Like, that is such a complete just lapse of concentration. Like, really well played on the side of Impo just to, you know, just go forward. It doesn't matter if he dies there. Like, anyone shooting at him isn't paying attention to anything else. But that is,
yeah.
Oh, what a way to lose it right at the end.
It's heartbreaking for Aragosta there. They lose the same round like 4 times.
Yeah,
right?
no, legit.
They lose the same thing.
Straight up.
Players just pressuring in through water. That's going to feel really bad. This is the game when you're Aragosta, right? Where you're like, okay, guys, like, of course we're not going to beat Witness. Of course we're not going to beat the Frenchies. But, like, at least, like, beat the team that's not even playing, you know? Like, Aragosta at least play Prem this season. But, yeah, no. That is just Alan's Workshop coming in. Very end. It wasn't that clean. That was very close. I'm very excited to see what happens if you give these guys a best of 3. But, yeah, my God. Really nice stuff.